Site Selection, FAM Trip, and Venue Requirements Checklist. For the sake of this exercise, you will already have selected a destination for this model event, San Francisco. We don't need to ask ourselves questions about weather, season, conflicting dates, as we already have the dates locked in, and we are confident that the destination is appropriate and destination choice due diligence was made. You need a quality hotel with meeting facilities, as you want the entire event to be hosted at a single venue. In this model, you are a Bend, Oregon-based event planner hosting a conference of West Coast vintners or winemakers. There are 300 people on your guest list. Your event will be a 2-day series of lectures followed by a cocktail reception and a sit-down dinner for the first night, and by a wine tasting and a light buffet the second night. First, you need to qualify some properties by creating a checklist that asks and answers the following questions. Does the venue have a dedicated event management coordinator for your event? The answer should be yes. Because you are not located in San Francisco, it is best that you have one venue point of contact. Furthermore, you'll want to establish that this contact understands your vision and goals and is confident the venue and staff are appropriate. Are the prices for meeting facilities, after-hours events, and accommodations in line with your budget? Before selecting 3 venues to which you'll make a familiarization trip or FAM trip, have your contact send you a written list of all the costs associated with your event plan. You'll need to know roughly how many lecture sessions will take place and how many people will be in each room. For this event, you are looking for a hotel venue that has all your furnishings and food and beverages services on site. Make sure preliminary rates for these services are included. What are the venue's environmental standards for greening events? Because winemaking is an artistic and agricultural pursuit, you'll want to green this event to be in line with its aesthetic. We'll address the details of greening events in a later video module, but you will want to establish early on that the facility has reuse and recycle policies and practices in place, and that it donates leftover food and supplies to charity. What are the venue's food and beverage capabilities? At this preliminary stage, you need to establish menu concepts for each food service and communicate it to your point person. They need to give you written estimates, recommendations, and menu ideas for these services. As you want to use in-house services for everything possible, your point person needs to convince you that the quality of their food and beverage is high, that their staff is excellent, and that they use local and organic food products as much as possible, which is part of greening the event. Does the venue have its own meeting furnishings and AV equipment and techs? You'll want a yes to both of these inquiries as well, because you want to work with as few outside suppliers as possible. Your contact needs to document that they have state-of-the-art AV equipment and full redundancy in case anything malfunctions during a session. Your contact should also supply you with room setup diagrams showing cost of the sets and associated equipment. What are the on-site attractions and activities available, and what others are within walking distance of the venue? Your contact will supply you with a list of on-site attractions like golf course or in-house art gallery. He or she should also act as your planning concierge by supplying a list of nearby activities and attractions the guests can readily access on their own time. You'll want to try to match up these opportunities with the culture of your attendees if possible. Tip: in your registration and pre-registration, ask your attendees what they like to do in their leisure time and what their favorite foods are. That way your venue contact can help you locate and recommend possibilities. What are the rooms like? How many are there, and what amenities or perks are available? Your contacts should be highly motivated to have all of your attendees stay at their hotel. Have them supply you with photos of the room interiors and lists of what they contain, prices, and discounts. As your attendees will be paying for their own accommodations, you'll want to provide them with variety and discount options. What's the venue's proximity to airports and other transportation options, and does it have secure parking? Your contact can give you a list of arrival and departure points and the best ways to transfer from them to the venue. It's your responsibility to make travel easy and stress-free for your guests, so make sure you choose venues that aren't difficult and time-consuming to get to and from. Furthermore, some of your California guests will be driving into the city. Make sure the venue has secure valet parking for them. What general amenities does the venue have for your guests and that support business travel? Your guests will expect the basics: business, office, health clubs, spa services. What other amenities does the venue have that will make your guests supremely comfortable and that sets it apart from others competing for your business? Find out what specials for VIP treatment the venue might have available. Try to find venues that have many 24-hour services. Check with the local Convention and Visitors Bureau for recommendations. Have they rated the venues that you're looking at? Are there other rating services you need to access? As you have not used these venues before, you'll want to research beyond the information you receive from the venue contact. You can even check Better Business Bureau type sites if you have any concerns. Are there any remodels or renovations going on at the property during the dates of your event? If the answer is yes, you need to make sure they are far away from your event and accommodations area and that they will not interfere in any way. In most cases, unless there are compelling discounts and you're sure no problems will result, we recommend staying away from planning events at under construction venues. In the event that your guest list outgrows a selected venue, what are the overflow solutions? Ask your contact what venues in walking distance have strategic alliances with their venue or share reciprocal privileges. Make sure you have a couple alternatives, as you won't have time to crunch to vet these hotels as well as you did your primary venue, and your overflow guests will have to make their own accommodation decisions. As with amenities, what concierge security and other services does a hotel have that sets them apart? As an event planner, you always want to wow your attendees in every way you can. Make sure your contact tells you about every value-added feature their property offers. You'll ultimately choose the venue that gives your guests the best possible experience for the best possible price. Can your contact give or show you copies of ADA compliancy certificates, liquor license, and any special permits that might be required? For the most part, your venue possibilities will have all these issues well under control. But if you are a detailed event planner, and you should be, you should check even on these details. If you are holding an event and your attendees outnumber the caps the fire department has put on occupancy in an event area, for example, they can close down your event and even in the venue itself if they see fit. What are the overall qualities of the neighborhood? You need to confirm that the area is safe, clean, and aesthetically pleasing. This group is used to living on beautiful, secure estates. They won't respond well to an event in an area better suited to an urban renewal convention. Ask your contact to supply you with a community profile generated by the municipality. It will show crime rates, the number of empty storefronts in the area, and other data that will help you establish suitability. Now that you have selected 3 properties that fulfill the needs identified in your checklist, you will be taking a familiarization trip, or FAM trip, to the city. Before the internet, FAM trips are taken prior to creating a short list of venues. Now it usually makes more sense to research online and work with destination services to identify some selections and then travel to them. In this situation, you want to work with a Convention and Visitors Bureau and ask that they host the FAM trip because you are looking at more than one venue and more than one neighborhood. If you happen to decide on just one site that's a real standout during the Q&A process, then that hotel will host the FAM trip. During the FAM trip, you will verify the accuracy of the information the venues have supplied. You'll also have added some detail to the checklist generated by the Q&A. For example, you'll be looking at how quiet or noisy the rooms are, how welcoming and capable the staff seem, whether the venue is attractive, clean, and appropriate, are the hallways well lit and the elevators fast, is the restaurant coffee great or horrible, etc. You'll get a general feeling for each venue you visit that will help you put your seal of approval on the location and make your selection confidently. Having returned from the FAM trip, you are now ready to select the site for your event. Your contacts will have given you all the information you requested in your request for proposal or quote in the Q&A sessions. Now it's your turn to pick the venue that best suits your needs, make up a detailed list of your accommodation facility, equipment, and food and beverage needs, and negotiate a contract. Once you have a signed contract in hand, you can begin to contract with any outside services, and your guests can begin to make their travel plans. You are well on your way to an exceptional event because you picked the best venue with the best amenities and a terrific staff. Good luck.